We're back for another session recap. This time it will be session 44. So it's the 20th day of Morangal of the year 21. We're the next morning after this reveal of the fact that Cargoy Salamos probably has his daughter and his wife as undead in his basement. Really, really grim stuff. Some clouds are coming. I don't know if it's going to start raining as I'm taping, but anyways, let's go. So, Bo the Goblin goes back to meet everyone at the shop of Edogai. Everybody talks about what Vild has seen in the basement of Cargoy Salamos. Some people just want to barge in and kill the Dragools and accuse Cargoy of keeping them or something. And Vild is on a complete other track. He's thinking of saving these ladies. He says, we have to find a cure to the Grey Death, which is incredible, because that's a theme that I want to explore, but there's no real solution to this. Like, if there is one, it will be in chapter 6 of the Throne of Thorns that they'll find it. So it's pretty fun that he thinks about that right now. But the reason why I like the undeath to be an important part of this story is because undeath has been used by the princes of Symbaroum, certain princes of Symbaroum, to immunize themselves from corruption, to be able to resist corruption. The Dark Lords of Liastra did the same thing. So it's a recurring theme in this setting, and I really like that. So I like that he wants to do that. I just hope that the player doesn't expect to find this solution next session, because it won't happen. Anyways, so they decide, okay, maybe we can ask. The idea of Vild is we have to use the knowledge of the witches, the knowledge of the priests, the knowledge of the mages, and combine everyone together and try to find, as a collective, the solution to this undead problem. So that's something. And he wants to go see Cargoy to tell him, we will help you. We will help you, but you have to stop harassing Sarvola. That would be the deal. We won't get to that right now, because first of all, Mirizin goes to the witch and familiar to talk with the witch. I think it's I don't remember her name. Agdala, I think. She's the mother of Alomar. She's a witch in exile. She's a witch, a secret witch. And Alomar tells Mirizin that she's not there right now, and that they will need to meet her in the witch circle in the forest. Lodome goes to see Deseba to try to have some information. And what she wants is for Deseba to accept to meet Vild and to have this plan exposed to her. Bo is willing to use some of the water of the dawn to give some power to this ritual to come. They're speculating. They're being very optimistic right now. They absolutely don't know if water of the dusk can do anything, but anyways, they're supposing all sorts of things. Mikariol, the young mage from Alberator, he is now under the protection of Master Vernum. Master Vernum from the Academy is like an outcast from the Ordo Magica because he likes elves too much. Of course, it's not public, but he has ideas about the forest that are a bit too much elf friendly. But Vernum is also a very good friend of Master Cargaston, the old master of Mikariol, the master that died in Alberator. And what was Cargaston studying? The Grey Death. So Mikariol goes to see Vernam and asks him, did you have time to read the books of Cargaston that I brought you? Can we start working on that and try to find some solution? But he notices that Vernam is very flummoxed and not concentrated, and he's very tense, and he asks him what's going on, and Vernam spills the beans and says that his friends, and Mikariol says the elves, and Vernam is sort of surprised. how did you know? You're a wily little man. But that's just funny because it was obvious from the start. And he says, yes, the elves are back. They want the crown from the Mark of the Beast. The crown, in the story, the Mark of the Beast, they use a skull with a crown on it, the skull of the king. I took away the skull because we just did a huge Warhammer Fantasy campaign where the skull was a possessed skull that would possess other people. So it was the exact same thing. So I couldn't use the skull as the artifact. So I just decided that it would be the crown itself that has this power of possessing people. And so Vernam says the elves want this crown out of Thistlehold right now. They need to bring it back to the tomb. And they're getting angry. And the background reason here is that I think it's Teara. I don't remember the name of the elf that's like an elf that likes humans. That is his usual contact. Has been bumped by Lysindra, Golden Grasp, and Maorel, or that elf that's really an angry elf that wants to kill all humans. So the angry elves are starting to push on this situation, and they're not patient, and they want the crown back. And the two elves that were pursuing Belun and Ludo during the Promised Land in the Titans, they're back too, and they're causing the snowstorm. So Godrai and Saran Lee. Of course, the players know nothing of that, but that's what's going on in the background. So Vernam says, "Can you help me? We need to get to the Ordo Magica, which has the crown under a circle of like a permanent break link thing." And he says we need to get it out of there. So Mikhail says, "Okay, we'll talk to the group and we'll try to do something." So in the previous sessions, Idogai, which is a blacksmith and an artifact crafter, at least he aims to be, they started creating a box with a break-link ritual on the box to be able to put the crown inside, close the box, and be able to travel with the crown without being possessed. This box has been finished a few days ago. And so they decide that maybe it is time to give it back to the elves. They started with this idea of convincing Kargoy Salamos and doing all the magic to save the undead, and now it's bifurcating completely. We're going back to the story of the Mark of the Beast. We're leaving the sellsword of the sun, the sellswords of the sun behind, and we're completely changing direction just because I decided to put Vernam in that situation. And just to make another truck. And just to be clear, the PCs could do nothing. I don't mind. The PCs in my games can do whatever they want. If they didn't help Vernam would have been killed by the elves. So the scene from Mark of the Beast, they saved him during Mark of the Beast because they were so efficient, but they could have caused his death if they hadn't helped him. But they did. So they all go to the Ordo Magica Tower. They talk to Master Gonkai, specialist of the elves. They say that we might meet the elves if we take care of this problem. He accepts to help, even though he knows that Ufrinda, his love, will hate him for that. He's too passionate about the elves, and he wants to do it. So with the help of Gonkai, they go up to Cornelio's office, and they convince Cornelio as well. The others, Ufrinda, Kulinan Furia, Tobela, they're not there because they're preparing their expedition. So they're meeting secretly with Erlabert Ambriagos. They're meeting with Mother Mehira, hiring some people. They're doing all that stuff in the background. So that's why they're not there at the tower at that point. So Cornelio accepts. They go to the room where this crown is contained, and then they try to. As soon as someone enters this circle, he's exposed to the power of the crown. So I think it's the barbarian Mirizin that goes in first. Anyway, no, it was Vild. Vild goes in first with the magic chest to put the crown in the chest. But while he's trying to put the crown in the chest, the crown possesses him, and then tries to escape the room in the hands of Vild Fortunately, Le Domé does a great strong roll and shield bashes the ogre as he's trying to charge out of the room, pushes him back in, and there's all this chaos around getting the crown in the treasury chest, and they finally succeed. And then they decide to just go outside, go in the forest to meet the elves. They don't know exactly where to go, but Vernon tells them that the elves are there nearby and that they're waiting for the crown. So they're just walking on the road, completely snow-laden, and they have snowshoes or skis, and they're walking in the snow, entering Davokar in the blizzard, and they're just trying to find the elves. And the others are, where are the elves? Where are they? And Vernon says, the elves will find us. We won't be the ones finding them. So we just need to go deep enough in the forest. So they walk for a few hours, they wait a bit. The elves do not show up because the elves, they just want the crown. They don't necessarily want to deal with 10 people. So at some point it's getting dark, it's getting really cold, and they decide to go to the nearby loggers camp. And they walk to the loggers camp, and when they get there, there's no action, like everything is dead, so to speak. And they enter the log camp, the main house, and they see 6 dragool ripping apart the loggers, the woodmen. It's a bloody feast, a gory scene, and they're like, what? And that's where we did the cliffhanger for that session. And now it's starting to rain. So that was session 44. I hope you like this description. I'm going to change location or do the 45 next day. Thank you for being there. Thank you for listening to these little monologues. Please leave some comments, like, subscribe, and head on to Drive Through RPG to check out my adventure playing with goblins. And that is so perfect. That is so Symbaroum. The forests falling dark, the rain coming down, the cars going by. That's not so good. But anyways, so take care, have fun, happy gaming, and see you soon. Bye bye.